All right, we should be live. The audio should be good to go. Palm, go ahead and take over.
All right, welcome everybody to the second episode of our 59 Gaming podcast for the Dragon Ball Legends side of the game here. Today's podcast is called Rosé Colored Justice. And if you haven't done so, check out episode 1 after the stream. It's been posted a week ago, and we will have weekly podcasts on Dragon Ball Legends. You might have known this one as like Ultimate Tag Team podcast from before. And today we're joined by Professor Sensei.
Hey, everybody.
We're joined by Bebop.
What's going on, everybody?
Nazdorachi.
Howdy doody, folks.
We have Bradical here.
What up?
Ryuden.
What's going on, 59 Gaming? Ryuden here.
And we have the homie Goresh.
Howdy doody, folks.
My name is Pomzer, and as last week, I'll be your MC/host for today. Today we have 7 topics, or a couple of topics. So we just updated it last minute. We'll just briefly touch on the new champion bonus that went up live. We will talk about the step-up banner, obviously about the new units, Great Saiyaman 1 and 2 assists. We'll talk about transforming Goku Black. We have the Ultimate Clash raid, the new Goku Black, or the returning Goku Black event, the adventures, the return of Zenkai Trunks, or rather the Legends Road event, and some new equips. And make sure that you check out the description, follow us over on Twitter, check out all the amazing content creators we have here so that you can, see when they go live, when they post a video, and don't miss anything in Dragon Ball Legends. And with that, I would say let's get right into it. And we'll start with the champion bonus. I think Goresh, you said that was supposed to go live yesterday, or they posted it yesterday already?
Yeah, so it was weird because they posted the news announcement. They were like, now on, champions, whatever it's called, like champions. Champions bonus now on, and then it wasn't live yesterday. Weird. Also, my favorite part about the event is in the description, it says, losing a battle will not reduce the amount of daily attempts. If you lost to this, like, I don't know.
Uninstall the game.
But I mean, yeah, it's a cool little thing. It's really just like, I assume it took like 5 seconds to implement this. It's literally just Hercule, and you kill him and you get crystals. That's like it. That's it.
I just ran it and almost lost, dude.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I think it's like your phone DCs or something like that.
Yeah. I guess.
I agree with Gresh. It's just like a low effort thing that they can quickly throw into the game to give people a little bit of a sense of, of friendliness towards free-to-play players. And there's nothing harmful with stuff like this, even though it doesn't take a whole lot of effort on their part. Like it benefits us. It requires no monetary investment, so why not? Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm down for it.
Yeah, it's a nice little quality of life thing, right? Sorry, Bebop, you go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's pretty generous on their end.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to complain about getting some chrono crystals. Just a little bit to add to the your pool.
Dude, they've been actually pretty good, I gotta say, like about everything right now. I've gotten a lot of free CC, and I mean, I burned it all in the Goku Black banner. That was a big mistake, but like after I already pulled them. But they've been really generous, so I'm down 100%. They are being very cool about it.
Agreed. So yeah, don't forget to farm that every day to get your 500 chrono crystals. It's gonna be on for 10 days, I guess. Yeah, from the 4th, so today until the 14th, it says here on the event period. And I guess with that, we can move on to the step up banner, the units that are on it, and how is that even a step up banner? Prof, did you pull?
Oh, I didn't pull anything. I tried.
How deep did you go?
Not much. I was like 2,500 crystals, whatever the first few rounds were. But yeah, no, I think my team is basically hybrids. The Great Salmon 1 and 2 is really interesting. We'll get into their kits in a minute, but it's just, for me, it wasn't that impactful. It's kind of hyped to pull them just in case I could try, but not going to go that crazy on this banner.
I thought it was a pretty cool thing that they did. I mean, a lot of us, or some of us, when we were getting the hints of, it's Goku Black, we thought that maybe it's an LF unit because he's super exciting, and we thought maybe it's a step up as well. But for him not to be an LF, but to be almost of LF quality and a step up banner, which really helps maximize your chrono crystals, I think it was just a cool bundle. Like, really good units. The banner's a step up. You got your tickets. You get you get more bang for your buck when it comes to your chrono crystals. So I think overall it's pretty good.
Yeah, expanding on what Ryuden just said, especially when it comes to the Goku Black specifically, we know that the developers like to, re-release versions of units in the game. That's something that's consistent across like all gacha games. And what he said basically confirms that down the road there is going to be a Legends Limited Goku Black, because this one still doesn't feature the scythe, the little dimensional tear with the clones popping out. So they're going to save that and release a Legends Limited version of this character at some point. And then likely there'll also be an assist version of Goku Black or Rose that's comboing with Zamasu on the same card, kind of like how Saiyaman 1 and 2. They're being a little bit hesitant to go real crazy releasing those units, the combo units, but I can't imagine that there won't be a Rose and Zamasu version as well as a Legends Limited version that does feature the scythe and the clones popping out. So that Rose tag probably will be a reality one day, just based off those 4 units, eventually, and then the Zenkai of the red one, of course.
Right, so Goresh, I think you've pulled a little bit on it, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Maybe just a little. But yeah, I mean, this banner is good. It's probably not as good as the Majin Vegeta banner was, just in terms of the quality of unit that's featured on here. You got Green Feature Gohan, who's not
amazing,
that good. He's okay. I mean, he's not bad. But honestly, most of these units are not terrible. Like, Yellow Gohan's still pretty good. Bojack's still pretty good for the movies team. Looks like they might start to dabble into the movies tag a little bit more, just because we haven't really gotten buffs for the movies team recently, and now they're doing Great Saiyaman 1 and 2. So maybe the next tag that they look at to focus on is movies. But yeah, I mean, this banner, I mean, this is the first time Merge Zamasu's returning as well. I don't know. I think this is a pretty good banner to summon on if you're just, if you have a bunch of crystals that are saved up and you're like, okay, should I save up or should I use them on this banner? It wouldn't be a bad idea to use them here. I'm going to be honest. LF Frieza, obviously first time he's come back. So a lot of first-time returning units on here. We got Zamasu, we got Frieza. Vegeta has only been on those Legends Return step-ups, and then I think he was on the anniversary banners as well. So he hasn't really been on that many banners. And yeah, I mean, this is a pretty good banner.
I'm surprised you didn't mention Ella Frieza.
He did.
I did.
He's
the first time he's come back.
Okay. I'm deaf.
I think that was Garesh's probably his main motivation for summoning on this banner.
It definitely was, yeah.
Wasn't EX Ribrianne?
Oh, she's there too, yeah.
Close second.
Now that you bring that up, I guess is it worth discussing how she comes with a new tag?
Yes.
Yep.
So I think it looks like we're seeing the beginning, trinklings of what we could see in the future. We do know that from the V Jump they're going to be talking about the dog, so it's cool that maybe she's the start of something.
Well, I think they're definitely going to have the Rival Universe tag now. We were talking like TOP or whatever the heck they were going to call it, but I definitely think they're going to have that tag now.
Yeah, this is a way for them to literally create that tag, but not stack it so that you can run Jiren and MUI Goku on the same team, and just raffle stomp all of PvP when that becomes a reality.
Well, technically speaking, couldn't every single unit have rival universe tagged in if Universe 2 is getting it first?
I think rival universe means they're rival of Universe 7, so it's going to be basically every universe from the TOP except Universe 7.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so hit, the yellow hit that we have has rival universe. And
Oh,
that
does
hit
it?
is from that hit is in the God of Destruction shop
Makes
of
sense.
Saga. So any sort of like tournament or I guess event where you're fighting a different universe's like representative, that's where they're going to be focusing on for this tag, I think.
I like it though. I think it's pretty cool, honestly.
Yeah, it's a
That
good
combined
idea.
with powerful opponent is really good.
Yeah, you can actually. So, like for example, when Jiren releases eventually, he could maybe do like rival universe, strike attack and defense, and then at 6 stars he can then buff powerful opponent like strike attack or something like that.
Huh.
Yeah, that'd be very interesting to see. That'd
Why-
be diversifying the meta a bit.
Dude, anything diversity, I'll take it. Like, lets me run different units and different teams. I'm 100% down.
Yeah, for sure. I just have to say that I was really surprised when this one actually turned out to be a step-up banner. I expected that to just be another, I don't know, Legends Rising or something like this,
The
since
timing,
UST is dead. But
I would say the timing is a little weird, to agree with you. Like, in our last podcast, people were asking, do you think the next step up won't be till Black Friday? And we were kind of like unsure. But now it seems like this has come in to drain everyone's resources during an otherwise quiet period so that everyone will have to top up again when Black Friday rolls around.
I don't know about.
No, go ahead.
I'll just say, like, you say just drain. I feel like this Goku Black is so good, you can't skip him if you care about running that tag at all.
It's pretty true. Any of
Right.
those teams, like, he benefits them so much. Like,
And he's colored extremely well.
yeah, we're gonna get to that a little bit later.
hello.
I guess this kind of squashes the meme of how Black Friday was always tied to a Goku Black character.
Well, that doesn't
Well,
mean
they
we
did
get
it,
L
honestly.
Goku Black now.
Yeah,
But yeah,
so it looks like
if they drop an LF Goku Black a month after they drop this Goku Black, I am done.
Or maybe merge Zamasu. It's
Yeah,
kind
that
of
I can
partly
see.
Black.
I could see a merge Zamasu if they want to continue down like the path of like doing this future rampage, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Future is the new fusions.
I mean, pretty much has been the past like 4 months.
Kinda, yeah.
Fair enough. All right, should we move on to the units? Goresh, I think you have a 14-star Great Saiyaman 1 and 2. How do you like them so far?
Yeah, so they're interesting. I actually like the design because even though they're not technically like the best unit ever, the fact that they went down the path of actually adding the tags of the support character, or I guess it's technically the assist character, I think that was a good decision because it adds a lot of versatility to this unit. Because if they didn't do that, this unit would be on hybrids and Sun Family and movies. But now that they added the assist characters tags in there, they're now also on the female warriors tag, which is really, really good for the female warriors tag because honestly, the female warriors tag, it's just hard to buff that team because female warriors aren't really super prevalent in Dragon Ball. So them taking this chance to really do this and make sure that the tag is at least like semi-modern, I guess, is a good decision. And then also, you could say the same thing about the Broly and Chile unit as well because, they didn't have the female warriors tag prior to this update as well. So again, more buffs for female warriors is always good because, again, it's just hard to update that tag because it's they're not going to constantly be releasing female characters in this game. But yeah, the unit themselves are pretty good. I really like the fact that they take reduced damage by I think it's 50% for the first 30 counts or so.
Yeah,
It's very noticeable, and you can use them effectively as a tank for that first few counts. Granted, you don't get rising rushed, but I think they're actually pretty good. I like them a lot.
I think it's also worth. I think it's also worth diving in the fact that they made a little bit of changes to some tags now with these duo units. Now the partner that you have as well, you also get their tags because this is Great Saiyaman 1 and 2, and it has both hybrid Saiyans and female warriors, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it gives them a huge variety of items that they can have access to.
Yeah.
Prof, as a hybrid main, what do you think of that unit?
I think he's very interesting because if I want to run him, I think he's overkill because like he looks like he'd be the ideal choice because you got the red Gohan buffing red Sun family, and then you have the red Trunks buffing red hybrids, and he fits all those tags that we just discussed. He has a wide variety, but to do that, you're stacking 3 reds on your team. Now I've been used to running a ton of purple and a ton of red, but I don't know. I feel like he fills Trunks' role, and he might become the min-maxy choice down the line to kind of heal and support because you're seeing a lot of 18 running around. But I've gotten used to running a color wheel, and I don't want to give it up right now.
Fair enough. Bebop, have you pulled on this banner? Did you get him?
Oh yeah, trust me. I've been silent on this because I'm trying to suppress my saltiness. That I pulled 14,000 crystals and I didn't get anything.
Yeesh.
Like I only got 2 sparkings that were really old, but I could tell he's nice. I watch people's videos and stuff about him, and I cry a little bit, but it's fine.
We're all here for you. You know that, right?
I hope so.
Brad, Nas, what about you guys?
I have both of them, and I'm a big fan of Goku Black. I don't really like him that much, but that's just because like I don't know. I think it's my teams more than anything. Like my female warrior team, since I didn't pull on 18 to get her Zenkai, it was kind of like it's very lacking. To run Kefla and 21 with her, I don't think it really does a whole lot. But Goku Black's phenomenal. I recommend if you like future God Key, Saiyans, like anything, summon for him. Like he's worth it. He's worth going in for it.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Goku Black is an exceptionally strong character. Everything in his kit works extremely well with what he tries to do, and you will have a lot of success killing people with him. The Sandman 1 and 2, unfortunately, I didn't get. I went just 1 rotation through, and I got 2 Goku Blacks, but no Saiyaman. But he does look impressive for what his stats are on paper. Like, it might seem like he's a little underwhelming, but I feel like the kit more than makes up for it. And in every match I've played against him, it's actually been quite frustrating to deal with. So I would say that they're both very good characters, but it all falls back to elements that I've mentioned in the past where if you're not running these teams, you have no intention of running these teams, then it's probably a situation like in Professor Sensei, his situation with hybrids. You don't really need to go out of your way on a banner like this. Just wait for what's, good for your account. But with that being said, the Goku Black is definitely a character that comes in and instantly shakes up the meta a little bit, which not every character does on release. So it's definitely good to pay attention to that.
Yeah, fair enough. I think that is a good transition over to Goku Black. So, Ryuden, what's your take on him?
So I think it's a really cool unit. I like how he has 2 different animation sets, pre-transformed and post-transformed. He feels like LF quality, if you ask me. His blue card's really darn cool. I think we can all attest to that. And he definitely introduces a new mechanic we haven't seen before. So he comes in with I think he's the first character to come in with gaining ki for every card that he draws. And his green card really capitalizes on this, as does his main ability. Really, really cool. I think we've seen units where they gain ki when they use specific cards. They have cards that gain ki when you use it. Those are 2 separate things. But he's the first one where if he draws a card, he will gain ki and damage. And I think it introduces a cool play style, gives some new life to some other units, like the yellow Future Gohan, who gives card draw when he dies. He really, really complements this Goku Black. So I think he's awesome. He introduces something really new. And I think you guys all know by now that he's a fantastic unit. He's really darn good. Suspiciously tanky as well too. I think he heals a certain percentage of the damage that he takes. So when you face him, when you have the upper hand and he's the last guy left, don't assume that it's that you got it in the bag. He could heal 20% and keep going. He's a spooky monster, this guy.
He also has a 25% heal when you initially transform too. So yeah, lots of potential to keep him coming back from the grave.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, you're fine. You're good.
The reduction of enemy ki every time you hit him too is surprisingly disruptive.
Annoying.
That's really darn good.
Dude, I faced a kid who used Whis and Deborah of all things, and Goku Black was ridiculous. He was popping like 5 green cards in a row, and like one-shotting freaking purple units, and I was like, okay, cool, nice. I'm in for this. Like, it was like really dope, actually.
I was noticing as well, like when he's a big counter to Vegito Blue, especially with
Yep.
that key reduction. Like literally that, like yeah, sure, Vegito Blue will still pull strike cards, but I mean that the main thing about pulling the free strike cards is the fact that he gains a little bit of key. So he literally doesn't gain key at all. So that's a big counter for that, and I'm actually all for that.
Yeah, I agree. And then also for me, the biggest thing about this guy is not so much like how powerful he is. It's the feeling of when you draw a card, you get key back. It just feels nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I think if I'm not wrong, this is the first unit that's done that. They've gotten key back from drawing cards. And I actually, again, I'm all for innovation and uniqueness in different kits that these units have. And this really speaks a lot to me because, you know, this is something new we haven't seen before. And I feel like you can sort of like make your team built around the fact that he does that. And so, like the fact that you can look at some like one aspect of a unit that they do really well, and then sort of build your team around them. Like let's say you want to use the yellow feature Gohan for the extra card draw speed to give him more key and make him do longer combos. Like that sort of environment, I think, is what they should strive to continue doing for these units because it makes it a lot more interesting than just, you know, he enters the battlefield, he gets 150% attack or strike attack up or whatever it is. I think this is the route they should go down more often.
I think he's just fun. Like, there's some units that I use that it's just, even if they're not like the peak best unit in the game, he's just fun to use. Like, same thing with Majin Vegeta. He was just a fun unit to use. Like, he looks cool. It's Goku Black. Like, everything about it's positive. Well, I see why they threw Great Saiyaman 1 and 2 with him. How's that? Because they're kind of a different unit. I think they're really cool. Actually, their animations are really good. But I see why they kind of chucked it on alongside there and was like, hey, it's the same thing with Broly and Chilai. Yeah, they're cool, but they chucked it on there with Super Vegito because, like, they know this unit's super sick, you know? Like, so I think we can expect that going forward. When we get dual units, they're going to be partnered with somebody who's really good.
Well, I personally really like about him is he kind of feels like Majin Vegeta again, where the unit itself is incredibly powerful, but he's frail enough that you can punish the player if they misuse him.
Yeah.
So I've really been enjoying his presence in the game because I personally feel his damage, but I feel like if my opponent just misuses him for a second, then you can blow him up pretty easily.
Yeah, it's not like this one mistake you're dead, you know. Unit like Gohan where you just get obliterated, but you can still play with him. It's just nice. Sorry, Ryuden, go ahead.
I was going to say, I found it kind of interesting how he has a passive where he's just doing extra damage against Hybrid Saiyans. You would think for the lore, it would also be it would be Fusion Warriors plus something. It's clear that he was designed just to help shake up things because Gohan's so good. But I would have thought that, you know, make him deal with Gohan, but let's stick to the lore a little bit too and have him do extra damage against fusions or something. I don't know. I thought it was cool.
Would be what I would think because he beat God Ki doing extra damage against God Ki or Saiyans because he beat the crap out of Vegeta and Goku repeatedly while they went back to the past to recover and then come back and try again. So
yeah, I would think once we get an assist Zamasu and Goku Black unit, that would be when they get the God Key thing because going based off of like what happened in the series, like they literally killed the gods of every single universe together. So
yeah, so it like you said, it's a direct counter to the hybrids meta that's going on right now, but it does feel like they may have canonically forgotten a little bit on that passive there.
I think they did it on purpose.
It's also a meta decision, right?
Yeah,
they need to temper hybrids somehow.
That'd be like really, really, really good if he did the same. What is the yellow one? Does he have boosted against hybrids and Saiyans?
Yeah,
that'd be like really stupidly good. You have a Zenkai 7 him, and this Goku Black hitting Saiyans and hybrids harder. Like, I don't know.
All right, so we heard that this Goku Black is a very, very good unit despite not being an LF. And there was a third unit on this banner, which is Ribrianne, which was just got mentioned by Ryuden. I almost forgot about her. Did you pull her?
Yeah, I did get a chance to pull her. I will admit I didn't really have much interest in using her, but the one noteworthy thing about her, though, it was definitely the Z ability. That stood out to me quite a bit because this happens all the time where they introduce just one character with something unique and then it's almost like a message saying like, hey, this is the path we're going down. We're going to bring some new stuff. So it's exciting to see a new tag come along, and we know where it's going to go with it. So really looking forward to see what they do with it.
Well, I'll plug myself. And there's a video going up today with EX Ribrianne, and I spent 3 hours trying to get wins with a 1-star, and it was pretty tough.
Yeah, with Gohan running around.
Dude, it's really hard. She's good though. She's actually really, really good. I just have her only at 1 stars. Like,
the one thing that stood out to me about her are two things. One is that she holds a ceiling strike card. So I think that's pretty interesting. The second thing is that I believe is she the first unit in the game that on her special move she reduces sub count?
I'm not 100% sure on that one.
I don't know if she's the first.
No,
but it's definitely pretty rare.
Hercule is the first.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Champ.
Okay, so the first non-gimmick unit that does this. I think it's only 3 counts, but it's still actually, I mean, that's a really powerful effect.
She also has a dummy thick main ability with 50 key restored, 60% to damage, and arts card draw speed.
Yeah, it's just EX Gogeta again. It's like an entire unit in their main ability.
You really use dummy thick to talk about it.
I thought that too.
It's Ribrianne, so it fits, right?
God, I'm crunching so hard.
Can that blue card be taught to Charlotte?
I don't know.
It cannot.
No, please
it cannot.
Oh, because that would be insane if it could. I'm not sure if DBZ Space would show you. But
Yeah, I have it up on
would.
screen. It cannot be taught.
Yeah, it would say can teach next to it if it was.
That would be insane. Can you imagine that? Oh my goodness, the chaos.
I don't want to imagine that.
Yeah.
That would be crazy.
But then again, is it really that crazy? Just because, I mean, you also have other cards like Frieza's green card, for example, that does the same thing, right?
Yeah, but that's an LF, right?
Well,
Fair enough, but like also the support Vegeta's main, I think, does the same thing as well. But then again, it's also a main that you can only use once. Right?
Exactly.
The thing for Charlotte is his main gives him a blue card too, so it's almost as though like you get your priority going. I guess you can basically call it a guaranteed, a reduction of sub counts just because his main gives him that. But you are right.
It guarantees that the blue card will hit, but since it's proccing off of a blue card, it just resets the game to neutral, so it's kind of hard to capitalize on this. It's not like you could use this and then instantly Rising Rush or something because they can't swap out, because then they'll just vanish because the game's been reset to neutral. So it still might be a little bit more strategic in its value than just outright raw value, but yeah, it's something I thought of.
Yeah, I think that the best situation for this is when you're out of Vanish, you use your main and see that your opponent is doing something while you have no switches. And then you use the blue card, get your switches back, and they might still think you have no Vanish, but you can switch and get out of it. Like some people are Rising Rush when they think you have no Vanish, So I guess it's more like when you're in a pickle, then you can just kind of like pull that trump card out and just get out of jail.
Mm-hmm.
And also on that note, quick shout out to the chat. Kuba is here, but only in the chat, and good luck looking like Goku Black Rosé. Just thought that he wants to look exactly like him. I wonder how he's going to achieve that. Subarashi. All right, anything else on Ribrianne? Anyone actually played her?
No, God, no.
yeah, I haven't ran into her yet.
No, only Brad, I think. I didn't get her. Like I said, I can only afford to do one rotation.
Yeah, me and Ray Uden both pulled her, but are we talking about making
the
a
EX
video?
unit as well. We got to consider that. She's pretty insanely hard to pull, regardless.
I would say I don't think like she even gets close to taking Zenkai 18's space. Even if you had like a 9-star randomly, like you had stupid luck out of like 12,000 crystals or something, I don't think she takes that kind of spot. Like she's good, she's interesting, but
I think
it's really weird she's yellow for me. I don't think that was the proper color personally, but just because they just gave a Zenkai 18, and it's like, why would I not run her?
I think they're you're only going for this Ribrianne if you're trying to prep for the rival universe tag.
I agree with that too. Yeah, she's definitely just a bench for sure.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say she's just a bench.
If you have 18,
she can
she's
do
just
a
a
little
bench.
bit of work.
Let me put that.
But yeah, if you're trying to run her on female warriors, then definitely. But I think the people that are running or looking for this unit are probably looking at Trio to Danger and
Yep.
Jiren and all this other people that are coming.
I agree with that too.
All right, so pretty much there's not that much experience with Ribrianne. I guess nobody's really playing her. Nobody's running into her. So I would say let's move on to the ultimate class rate. Brad, I think you played it a lot, right?
Yeah, fair amount. I mean, I thought I played it a lot, and then I went online and saw that Spider ran it like 900 times. I was like, I thought I played it a whole bunch. I did like 216 or something like that total. And then I go in there and it's like 15 hours straight he ran it. I mean, it was fun. I actually didn't mind it. Like, a lot of people were saying the rewards kind of were like lackluster and stuff, but I was okay with it. I'm fine with getting those bells and stuff.
Yeah, I
That-
got a
that
gold
helped me
bell
level
after
up.
every run.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me at all. Like, I'm totally down for that. I did only get one of the extreme multi-Z power, and it's kind of like, I don't know what I would prefer. Like, it's cool to have the quote-unquote unlimited. You can just get as many as you want, but with such a low drop rate, it's like, I'd rather just have, like, it has a chance of only dropping one that's like 200 Z power, 250 like the standard one you get. I'd much prefer that instead of, you can get unlimited, but it's a 0.1% pull rate or drop rate. I don't know. It's a cool idea, though.
I think what they should have done instead of had a 50 multi-Z power with like it had to have been like a 1% drop rate.
1%, dude. It's way less than that.
No, I mean 1 in 100 runs. I think that's pretty accurate.
I got 1 in 213.
You got lucky.
I
got
know it
two.
happens, bro.
I got 2 in like 50 or so. So.
And I saw a bunch of people had like 5 or 6, and I was like, "What?"
But I think instead of doing the 50 multi Z power for like 1%, they should have just made it like a 5% drop with 10 like just have people who can't play the event as much have a better chance of at least getting something. Especially given the extremely short period of time this event was live. It was only live for like 19 hours or something. So
Yeah. I didn't get anything. All I got were the adventures. I don't know. Like, I don't understand like the rates when it comes to that. I played it like 10 times and then I just gave up after that because I'm just like, all right, I'm not getting anything that I truly need and want, like bells, like energy, all that stuff. The platinum coins, like it was just hard for me, so I just stopped.
But at least by participating, we all get these new extreme clash medals.
I was gonna go into that. That I can agree with. So it's like, yeah, for people like me, who didn't get like the platinum coins and stuff, at least the plus side is that exchange shop that are the medals that you're gonna get. I believe the what day? The 7th? Yeah. So the 7th, you'll get the 10 coins. So that's
20.
a free 1,000. Oh, 20. Great.
20.
So that's a free 1,000 chrono crystals off the bat that you can get, and other stuff like that. Zenkai souls.
It's also a free 600 super souls.
Yeah, so that's pretty generous on their end. So I like that a lot.
I'm just glad the extreme Z power is 50 and not 30, and that way you can at least you don't have to get so many when it comes to getting another tier up. Because if it was 30, then you're like, oh goodness, I'm gonna need at least 2 to make this worthwhile. But with 50, at least you can work up to getting it to something respectable.
Yeah, I just think they should continue with the raids on a more consistent basis. Not I'm not saying like every week per se, but like stuff like this is something that drives people to want to log in more and play. So maybe like, I don't know how you guys would feel about it, but maybe like a bi-weekly or monthly kind of deal.
Yeah, I would say
think that
at
would
minimum
be-
once a month, but one
Yeah,
a
once
week
a month.
would be great.
Yeah, of course. That's everybody's ideal. I dream about it, but I don't know. I think that would be too much. You gotta also acknowledge that would probably be hard on the dev team, but surely like a once a month type of ordeal would definitely be more in favor for just having more fun on Legends.
If it's
Yeah, it'd be
only-
cool if we could prep like the first week of every month would be a raid.
Yeah,
But
I would
actually
say if it's
would
only
know,
one a
like-
month, they should make it last a little bit longer than one day. But these ones like this that take 24 hours or less to beat, I think, yeah, like one a week, one every 2 weeks would be great. But if they want to do like one a
Yeah.
month, give us like
But they
one
tried
of the
the-
bosses from that gauntlet where we didn't beat any one of them except for like the first one. Give us one boss like that level, but have it last like a week. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, they tried
Yeah.
the more HP and it did not go over very well.
No, because
Yeah,
the
yeah.
event left before people had time to kill it, or it didn't leave, but it just rotated over to a new boss, and there was four.
I think
of
I still
them.
stand behind like Goresh's original idea with that was like, don't set an HP bar. Just how high do we hit? Then we get certain rewards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if there was a sub
I still think that's
leaderboard,
much better.
yeah, if there was like a sub leaderboard based on that, that could do real well.
Yeah, it'd be just kind of different. I mean, I think they're playing with it though. We can definitely see them making changes. They make a lot of changes. We know that, but like,
Yeah.
they're making a lot of pluses too. I mean, a lot of people look at it and they're like, "Oh, why is everything shifting all the time?" And it's like, because they got to learn what really, really works, and like, what do we participate? Because we can say it's dope, this is awesome, that's great, but like we saw the more HP failed and stuff like that, and now they're like, "Hey, here's a little multi Z power and stuff like that." So, hey, I'm down for it. Like, whatever they keep trying differently until we get something that really works nicely, I'm in. Like, they're trying. That's what matters.
Yeah, and I mean with the raids, they could probably, I mean code-wise, I think it's pretty easy to just put in another sprite and change the HP number and just rotate it around. So I feel like they're, as you said, they're experimenting with the numbers. They went too low, then they went too high, then they went too low, but they're probably going to approximate it at one point where they know, okay, this is roughly the amount of like HP so that people will take it a day, 2 days, a week to take it down. And then I think they'll just kind of find their groove.
I agree with that. No
If they,
complaints here, though, on that end.
Sorry, can you...
That number is gonna be hard to find though, because like if they make the rewards super high, I didn't even touch this latest rate. I'm not trying to talk it down or anything, but I didn't really care about it. And so if they make the rewards good enough, I might I'll click it a few times, right?
You did
Or
it at
maybe
least once, right?
Yes, I was told I should do it at least once, so I made sure I got through the raid at least one time.
Okay. Yeah.
But I'm also, I mean, dare I say, a leech. I didn't do anything, but I'm going to get the raid rewards. And so if they put like a meter reward, you're going to get players like me, like, okay, well, I'll do it a couple times. Unless we have like personal rewards to do it 10, 20, but then I don't know. I
definitely
personally
agree. Like
really
events
real
like,
quick.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I didn't cut you off. I was just saying, I think it was really hype how quick the other ones went. That it drummed up discussion in the community. Like if raid boss is dropping, you gotta log in, and it's gonna go down like 6 hours. If you want the rewards, got to get now, kind of deal.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
do
know.
agree. It is a double-edged sword because it does add to the diversity and the wealth of options for things you can do when you turn the game on, which is always good. You'd be like, well, I can play this, I can play that, I can do these different things, which gives me the feeling I have some type of choice. But the other side of the sword is for you and for other players that focus PvP. Those are just distractionary events that ultimately take time away from you placing higher in PvP because that's time you could have spent, trying to grind the leaderboard. So
You mean waiting 2 hours in queue?
yeah, well, yeah, when you get up that high, for sure. Yeah, that time spent grinding the raid, that could have been a couple extra matches, with those long queues. But yeah, so I mean, it does illustrate the point that the game does kind of have I wouldn't say a problem, but there's definitely a hemisphere where they have to balance all these different elements of the game to make your time worth investing here or there, so it definitely illustrates that is a thing in this game.
Yeah, one thing I would like to say though is that for me the raid couldn't have come at a better time, and I am really happy that they're using the same currency as co-op because I got Goku Black only once after I don't know how many 5 bazillion rotations. And thanks to the increased drop rate of the dual coins, he's now 6 stars just because I could use multi-Z power on him. And otherwise, it would have taken me so much longer to just farm that up. So I'm really happy that the raid came at the time it did and that they still have the increased dual coin drop rates.
Yeah, that is definitely something important to note because this game is like, I mean, everyone's singing praises of Genshin Impact and stuff, but it's the same type of situation in the fact that for a lot of these games, to get the free stuff, you have to put the time in to get it. So at least they are adding ways to essentially farm or grind out different resources in different areas. And you can't really fault this game because, like I said, it's a feature of pretty much every free-to-play game out there that's got kind of like role-playing game or RPG leveling up mechanics. Like there's going to be some elements of grinding you're just going to have to do. So.
Exactly. So yeah, as you heard, when the next raid comes out, you better get grinding fast, or it might be done before you even get the chance to go. And with that, I would like to move over to the next topic, which is the returning Goku Black event, which has also been reset. So, Nas, have you been farming that so far?
I haven't. Well, I haven't started it yet, but there is a awakened. What is there? Awakened piece of equipment that came with this one, or is that from a different event? Because I haven't actually started this one yet. I was doing the raid, and it's kind of a situation where they've put a lot of events into the game at once, and I didn't even know they reset it. But I remember they did that with the Raditz one, so that's good. That means I can get some more crystals.
Yeah, the resetting is really cool because, again, it's just an extra 1,000 crystals that we otherwise wouldn't have gotten, right?
Yeah,
Right.
that's definitely a favor for the long-term players because all the new players won't have done it the first time. But for all of us that are returning, it just gives you a way to get some rewards again.
Yeah, I remember reading that about. Go ahead.
I was saying, are we only getting the 1K because they're revamping them, or is this going to be something we can see in the future that whenever they make us do all the fights again, we get another 1,000?
Just because of the revamp.
The Vegito Blue Legends Limited Equip does not awaken yet, does it?
I believe not.
Because usually they time these events with the awakening of an LL character's platinum equip. Because that's what you go to stage 50, and that's where you get Vegeta, sorry, not Vegito's, equip. So, but I guess if they didn't do that yet, maybe that's on the horizon soon? Yeah, who knows? Might not hurt to farm up a couple extra of them just in case.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, I'm pretty excited for Vegito's equipment, dude. He needs a little bit of a buff. He's kind of feeling a little lackluster now. So. I'm pretty excited for that.
You joke, but it's probably not but 3 or 4 months off because
it's gonna happen for sure. Like, and we're all gonna hate it.
they've released enough characters now that give him enough of a challenge to where it's not probably too far off.
Yeah, he doesn't feel that amazing anymore. Like, obviously he's still good, and there's nobody could say he's always terrible now. Like, no, people are saying that it's crazy, but he doesn't feel like he did feel. It's wild, like how fast it shifted. Gohan, Goku Black, right after each other, just killed him.
Yeah, I feel like the community has a little bit to do with that, though, because, I mean, I still see him quite frequently, but a lot of people are probably just tired of how easy he makes the game.
Yeah, it's not fun. Like, we talked about that when he first came out, that it just wasn't fun to use, like, 5 strike cards in a row on someone. Like, it seems cool, because, yeah, I can get W's and stuff, but, I don't know. You want to have a little bit of a challenge, you know? Yeah. Gohan definitely gives that challenge, I'll tell you what. He definitely does.
I don't think they really added anything new to this event. I think it's just like a time fill. Like, they brought it back, reset it, requires relatively no effort on their part, and it gives us something to do right now in this little downtime. Because I really think that's what, like, right now is very historically a very poor time for not only gacha games, but just gaming in general as the year builds up towards the end and the holidays. So, like, it doesn't surprise me that they're using some filler recycle content, but at least nowadays they are resetting it. In the past, it would come back and the old players would just literally have nothing to do. So, I mean...
Yeah, I remember people even asking that from back when Dokkan, that they would ask for, returning events to just be reset so they could farm more stones. And I think Legends maybe just has taken a page out of that feedback and just decided to do that, and I really like it too.
Yeah, I think that's why. I agree with that.
Yeah, it's definitely nothing to complain about. Like, yeah, we could get a new event, but at the same time, they're saving that for when they expect there to be a more active player base, I would assume. But, it never hurts. People love Goku Black, so anything with him is going to undoubtedly do better than a lot of other stuff.
Fair enough. Okay, so we also got another set of sausage fests here. We got the Autumn Adventures, and we are farming sausages and sausage platters again. Goresh, you doing that, by the way? I don't even know.
Yeah, so the only time I actually do these like special adventures is when I go to sleep, and I just put the 7-hour one on. That's pretty much all I do.
Run the 23-hour one they give you for free, and then queue up 7s. And
yeah, exactly.
Sleep one. I wish the 23-hour ones were a little bit more accessible than just a gift from daily logins and that's it. But
because I don't really think they want people using those that much.
Yeah, they want you to actually log in.
Yeah, because that one isn't really conducive to why they even have this in the first place.
Right.
Exactly. And I mean, you can get those done in like 2.5 days. Like the last mission is what, 180,000 for 100 chronos. And if you do like 12 1-hour adventures every day with 7 slots, and then you do like a 7-hour one to go to bed, you get like, I think 60K a day, roughly, just a little bit. So you can do it in a little bit over 3 days, and then you can just farm whatever you want or just screw it. If you even want those 100 chronos.
Indeed.
It's like I'm assuming that many people are just going to do it for the free tickets, which is also a nice thing. And I think it's also good that they made those missions weekly and not like this super long. And then you get like, what was it back then? Like 700,000 of something just to finish the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was insane.
I just like these kinds of missions because it's there's no wrong choice. You just deploy these missions, exchange for whatever you need later.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Just
true.
free
Super souls and
resources.
stuff. Yeah.
I mean, I do these for the super souls that you could exchange from the shop.
Yeah, I was gonna say, thank God those are so cheap.
Yeah.
I'm so glad they're cheap.
Yeah, not like the Rising Souls.
Yeah, those are quite a doozy. Those guys there.
Yeah, it's like 45K if you get the 30 times whatever it is. So you're definitely not going to get everything from the shop, so make sure you prioritize. And
Right.
this is also the best thing for guild points. If you're still, farming guild points, every sausage gets you 5 guild points. And, if you get like 60,000 a day, that's 180K points. So it's also an easy way to rack those up if you want your guild to get like golden or something.
Everyone keeps saying that these are corn dogs, not sausages. So
But doesn't it even say sausages in the news?
it does say sausages.
There's definitely a stick
There's
hanging out of the back
it
of it.
literally
though.
It's
says
sausage on a
collect
stick.
sausages to get the deluxe rewards. Literally, go on the event right now, and it says collect sausages. I don't know why people are saying corn
That's not a
dog.
stick. That's a bone.
Well, on
The
the
stick,
plate
it's
with the
sausage on a
corn and the
stick.
tomato, it's a bone. But on the one where it's just a singular one, it looks like a bent corn dog.
Stick. Okay, if you guys
Yeah, I mean-
never been to a barbecue and they have sausages on a stick,
No,
No.
definitely have, but like, it looks
mean,
like
why-
it looks like a corn dog. It's colored like a corn dog. I don't know who's eating yellow.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Who's eating
it
yellow
looks like a
sausages?
fat. Okay, dude, I'm a vegetarian and I can see all that. That's a fat bratwurst with a stick shoved in it.
Why would there be a bone on a sausage?
No,
Yeah,
the
right?
platter definitely has a bone. Those are not sticks. Like,
That could be sausage wrappings.
But no, this is a bone. Look, I don't know if y'all are looking on the actual
That is
screen.
a stick.
No.
bro,
Pathetic animal has a bone like
apart, dog.
Look at the stream right now, and you tell me that is a stick. Look, that is a bone. That is
I think
a
we could go
bone.
forever. I'm just gonna say it's Oktoberfest. I'm German, and I'm saying this one's a bone. For some reason, it looks like a bone.
There's no way that's a stick, dog.
Oh, the one on the left. God, I'm not saying the one on the plate with the corn and stuff.
I like
Not
boneless pizza.
Oh my gosh. You guys are
Boneless
watching
It looks
the
like
downfall.
wrappings. You
You're
sure?
gonna be
It
on
looks like
gaming,
it's
bro.
wrapping.
It's going out.
Hey, we
What
gotta
kind of
have
animal has a
sometime.
bone like that? Unless it's a rib. But that, even then, that's a
It looks
swollen
like-
rib.
It looks like the
Okay.
extra fat from a sausage, but
Okay, Toshi, if you're listening to this, your graphic designer has some work to do.
Yeah, we like our sausages boneless over here.
Yeah. Exactly. So I think we can move on. But pretty much, yeah, those adventures are an easy way to farm up some additional resources to get some summon tickets if you didn't get lucky on the new banners and some chrono crystals. Yeah, we have the Legends Road event for Zenkai Trunks returning, but we don't have the co-op returning. Bebop, what do you think about that?
so it's kind of weird that they didn't bring the co-op feature back. But I mean, again, like I think we did get that co-op feature to actually Zenkai him like not it wasn't so long ago. So I mean, the fact that if they were to bring it back, I feel like it would be a little too sudden because a lot of people would not know if they should prioritize that and stuff. But I mean, hey, if you don't have him right now to 14 stars, get on it. It's free CC, and plus you do get easy just free chrono crystals right now if you actually use them. I believe you get like 50 chrono crystals just for actually just using him. So run him in PvE, get the free CC, and go about your day there and grind up whatever you need from the event. Whatever it is that you need, like souls, erasers, etc. You can do that.
I think they're gonna bring the co-op event next because this current one ends in like 2 days.
Isn't that what they did for Legends Road Kid Goku when he came back a second time? Like the event itself was available for a couple days, and then the co-op rotated back in.
But then they announced it though. They at least announced that it was gonna come back. So they didn't. So they didn't say anything specifically as to what the next co-op event would be. Like at least for Kid Goku, they did announce that for now we'll have this Kid Goku, and then be prepared for the next co-op featuring this Kid Goku or whatever. Like they did announce it, so they didn't announce what for this particular Trunks. But if they do, that's pretty cool too. But if they don't, it's whatever.
Yeah. By the way, Bebop, I actually didn't even know that those missions were there. So thank you for for mentioning that. There's 350 Chrono Crystals for using Trunks, I think 25 times, right?
Yeah, I noticed it last night, and I was like, oh, like, cause people usually see, so like myself included, when I see these rerun events coming back, I'm thinking, oh, it's just the same missions, whatever, like I don't even bother to look at it. So just always now, I guess for me and for others who do the same, pay attention to it, because literally I would have missed out on all this free Chrono Crystal just for using him. It's like, it's so easy to just do. It just says battle using this Trunks 5 times, 10 times, 15 times, etc. So that's literally 350 CC you can just get just by using him. And it doesn't even have to be PvP specifically. So if he's not Zenkai, don't worry, just use him in story mode real quick. If you have the time, do it. It's easy.
We'd like to ask y'all, this is a little bit of a segue, but is anyone else also having the issue where after those Zenkai and super missions with the souls disappeared, I still have a non-removable red icons that say I have completed missions, but they just they lead nowhere. There's
it's a bug, I think, because for me it still says I completed 60 missions.
Yeah, that makes it extra difficult to find the stuff like what you were just talking about, Bebop. All these new missions, I'm so flustered that I keep going in there, and it's misleading me that I've just kind of stopped paying attention to it for a little bit.
So, yeah,
you should have purchased the missions, dude. You wouldn't have the problem.
Oh my god. That's a new thing that they're implementing in Legends and Gacha games. They have to pay to get the bugs removed.
It's pay to even play.
Pay to even log in.
Pay to even look at your screen.
But I mean, that at least speaks to the fact that the display might have also been a bug. So even if you didn't purchase the missions and you fulfill them, that it still may have been a display bug rather than malicious intent.
Oh yeah, it's definitely got to be a graphical bug. It's just
they're definitely gonna work
for navigating your missions.
Yeah, I know everyone's pretty annoyed by it, but I mean, I'm sure they know, especially by now. We've complained about it in the community pretty vocally on Twitter, etc. So I'm pretty sure they know. I think they're gonna get on it. So hopefully that gets done pretty soon, because I know as the more missions that come and whatnot, it's gonna fill up to over 100, and we're just gonna be very annoyed by that. But just give them the benefit of the doubt.
You don't want to see 999 plus on there?
That's the best. That's when you feel accomplished.
Yeah.
All right. So our last topic for today is that we have gotten a new PvP equip, and we have gotten a new equipment awakening, right? So Professor, you're usually pretty good at farming equips. Have you checked those out?
I have both of them. Gresh just seemed a little bit more opinionated when we were talking earlier about the item, so I'll let him talk in a second about the awakening one. I think it's really good for Gohan. I don't think it's as great for everybody else, but maybe he can correct me on that. The one from PvP seems to be an excellent item for defense. As you guys might have noticed, it gives % defense. I'm double checking right now. I can't remember if it's Blast or Strike on the last slot.
Last slot is Blast.
So that's a % blast defense increase. So that item alone will supplement a whole Z abilities worth of defense for you. But other than that, I'm kind of curious to hear why he's excited for the awakening of this Saga's one. It seems pretty good. It seems like a best in slot item, but it didn't blow me away, if you would.
So the main reason why I'm excited is because it's transforming warrior in sagas, so you can use it on Zenkai Cooler. But I mean, yeah, it actually is pretty good, because you get up to just looking at the raw stats you can get from this. 20% to blast attack. I mean, obviously Zenkai Cooler is not really a blast unit, but it's basically extra because the slot 2 getting 15% strike and health restoration. Again, cool doesn't heal, but I just think like overall, all the stuff you're getting on here is just like 20%. You don't get that you don't normally get that on an unawakened equip. Usually tops out at like 15, 16, 17. Very rarely you get above 20 or even just 220 on a normal equip. So just the raw stats on here are good. I think this actually is a good equip for Bojack. Looking at this now, full power Bojack, because Bojack has a way to restore his health. His blast attack's really not that bad. Obviously more strike based, but yeah, actually looking at this now, I think it's a better equip for full power Bojack. I think look at the list of characters that you can even use this equip. Looks like he might be the best one on here.
He needs
What
the
about
defense
Purple
too.
Cooler?
So the 20% to either defense would be good for Bojack also.
Yeah.
Does Purple Cooler fit this bill as well?
Yeah, he does for sure because of the health restoration.
Yeah,
Yeah, and he's
it's
also
only
strike
determined by
focused, right?
transforming warrior and a movies unit, so you can use it on any one of them.
Yep.
So yeah, that would work. And then now the other one, what's the tag for the other equipment?
The other one is future and green or future and purple. So it has to be a future unit that's either green or purple.
Basically, Fusion Samasu or Goku Black.
Yeah, basically.
I mean Vegeta.
I mean, you can run Vegeta, yeah.
Remember Vegeta, the transforming
Actually,
Gohan.
both of them, right?
Yeah, LF Vegeta and Purple Vegeta.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
if you want. I don't know if you want to stack their defense. Or,
They're kind of glass cannons.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the question is, are you going to run them with powerful opponents, or are you going to just waste the third slot?
I mean, if you guys use Purple Goku Black, this is actually a pretty solid option for him.
Is anyone still using him? Purple
Yeah.
Goku Black?
Yeah.
What?
I mean, listen, there's somebody out there watching this podcast. He's like, "Oh my god, my Purple Goku Black's gonna be a tank because of this."
Like, honestly, I had to think for 5 seconds. Is there a Purple Goku Black in the game?
That was one of the most underwhelming duplicate re-release units they've ever done, I think.
Yeah,
He was good for like a day. I'm not even gonna lie though. Like it was pretty good for like a day, like his kit overall. But no, like, God no, don't use him.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break, and then we will be back with questions from Twitter. Again, if you want your questions in the podcast, make sure to follow 59 Gaming on Twitter. The link is in the description down below, and we will tweet out a questions thread a couple of days before the podcast. So you can leave your questions there, and then we will pick a couple of those to just discuss in the podcast. So we'll be right back. All right. Welcome back. That was the break. And now we will go to the Twitter questions. We have a couple of questions pulled up here. The first one is from Silly Vegito. And the question is, do you think we'll ever see a grindable legendary finish or Legends limited unit similar to Dokkan has grindable legendary rare units, LRs?
I would think so eventually.
I
but-
do too. I think eventually they will do like a free to play LF unit. I mean,
It'll be Vegito, just so you guys know. Like, it'll 100% be a Vegito, just so you're aware.
yeah, things like
Candy
this are
Vegito.
always super hard to predict, but assuming they are going off of some of the research they've done on Dokkan to perfect the game and this or that and whatever, I would assume that once the roster of units gets to a certain point,
Yeah.
it will be something that they will strongly consider. Like,
I agree as well. Like when we have a lot more units in the future, then yeah, that's something we can definitely see. Especially because now we can easily grind Zenkai units for free in a sense. So having that feature would be, pretty predictable,
yeah, I mean,
especially for an LF.
even the free-to-play Zenkai units are on par with plenty of the mid to older age Legends Limited units, so it's not like they already aren't hitting that quality of unit, as it is. So why not?
Yeah. I wouldn't
cool.
expect them either to be broken either, like or so meta changing, but just something to have, like kind of like on a collector side or casual LF. That'd be pretty nice.
Yeah. Goresh, do you remember how long it took Dokkan to release that LR Goku, the first one, the free one?
Yeah, so he came out, I believe it was during Tanabata before the 2nd year anniversary.
Oh, that was pretty quick then.
Yeah, and the way that they structured that was they had you farm the super straight characters, which is basically the equivalent of Legends Road in Legends, and you were limited to only using the Legends Road characters to farm that event. So it was literally it was a road like to grind that event because you had to go through the first like 8 or 9 or 10 events, use those characters to grind up the other event, and then that LR Goku event was like you were spending days on that, grinding that up because it was a long grind. So
And it took a
I feel
lot
like
of
if they ever
stamina.
did, I feel like if they ever did this in Legends, it would take, it would be a sizable grind. But hopefully, what they do, if they ever went down this path of having like a grindable LF or some super powerful, unit that was free to play exclusively, they would give you an option to where you're not pigeonholed into only having to farm this one event. You could get it through multiple avenues. Like maybe if you're a PvP player, you're like, okay, you can get this unit through PvP, but it just takes you a long time. And if you like co-op a lot, and you're mainly playing the game because of the co-op feature, maybe you co-op as well. So like I would want them to add different ways to obtain this character instead of just like making you and forcing you to play this one event constantly.
Yeah, no co-op 1,000 times to unlock him, please, for the love of God.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You guys think
maybe.
we get a
I mean,
login one for like 1,000 days.
We're getting relatively close to that because I just hit
Yeah,
my
we're 880 is what I just hit.
Yeah, I hit 855 or something the other day.
I wonder if we'll ever get that though. Like, could I get something for my logging in for almost 1,000 days?
Yeah, 10 CC.
I mean, that's kind of where I'm sitting right now. It's the thought process.
Can you imagine that 10 cc?
No, they'll do 50.
A
probably.
really nice surprise if on your 1,000th day of logging in they gave you 1,000 CC. Like,
I mean, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's probably just gonna be 1,000 crystals.
I think it'd be sparking pan.
I mean, to go back to the question, I could also. Do you guys remember like the good old days when you would get extreme Z power from playing PvP and you get like 50 for a win and 20 for a loss? I could see them do something similar with like a special PvP season, and every time you win a match, you get like 1 Z power for that Legends Limited like a free LF character or something like this, maybe. Because it would be quite a grind, but it would also encourage people to play, whatever mode they want to encourage you to play.
10,000.
You
10,000
could-
matches. To
Yeah.
match them.
Yeah.
I agree that would be cool, but they need to get their anti-cheat system fully squared away before they attempt that.
I agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't get anything for a draw, but sure, if you disconnect and both get the win, then yeah.
Well, what's going to happen is someone's going to run a level 1 Hercule, and they're just going to let you obliterate them and go on with their life.
And they will never get that unit then.
Well, if you have to get the W, then that's one thing. But
That would
I
be
think
so many cheaters. It would be insane.
yeah, I think as long as it was available through co-op or other means, you didn't have to PvP, so players didn't feel like they were forced to go collect this one-time unit in a mode they didn't enjoy, then sure. But it would have to be available on multiple avenues for me to want to support something like that.
Yeah, just
for
because of
sure.
how it would encourage the cheaters. I mean, again, if they had the anti-cheat system like lockstep where it was perfect, then it also wouldn't be an issue. But that's something that every game developer struggles with these days.
All they gotta do is take that Spirit Bomb Goku the blue one and make him an LF, and I'm down. Like, that's all you have to do. Like, I'd be 100% in for that. Give him a Zenkai, make him an LF. Totally in.
That would be like the biggest character rework they've ever done.
I know, but like he's been out for so long, he's so garbage, and he's such an iconic part of like the entire series, and it's like all they got to do for me to be happy. They'll probably just give us a new one, though. Honestly.
Alrighty. So I would say let's move on to the next question.
Yeah.
And this one's by Dondre. Do you guys think we will be able to buy Awakening Z powers for LF Zenkai Awakenings with rush medals going forwards? So I'm guessing like the Gohan right now.
I see that as a possible avenue for them to expand in. Like, the system always comes out, it's super restrictive, and then over time it's going to start to open up as power creep kicks in and the new becomes the old and they start to replace it. So we just saw LF Zenkai units starting to show up in any type of free-to-play way with the Rush Medal exchange. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they started adding ways to get the Z power for those specific units in the future. I don't know. Again, that's something that's real hard to predict, but I do anticipate the system just becoming increasingly accessible as time goes on.
Oh yeah.
I think they'll definitely do it. Just because, again, like, this is something brand new. That doesn't mean that we won't ever see it again. For the most part, we definitely, from what I've seen as well and on Twitter and the community, everyone's pretty excited. There's nothing bad or negative about that aspect when it comes to the, just grinding because it gives the motive to, for players to actually do the event, the USTR event, grind the adventure or grind the event, and then grind the, get those awakening panels for that LF Zenkai. So I really think that they'll definitely push forward and do it again for future LF Zenkais in the future. But again, like, there's nothing negative about it at all. Like, I think it's one of the best things that they could ever do, and very generous on their end as well.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is going to be a continued trend. I mean, they're providing a free option to get the best unit in the game, so long as you have them at 7 stars. I think it's very generous for them to let you do it with the rush medals.
Yeah, because it kind of feels rewarding.
Yeah, the only issue I have with the rush medal system is if you're somebody who wants to awaken equipment, you can't, because you have to spend all your resources on the Zenkai souls and then also the awakening power for Gohan, because it's so much more lucrative to do that instead of spending them on the awakening materials. So I think this all comes down to the awakening system being a problem. So if they can find a way to fix the equipment awakening system, then that would be perfect, because the resource basically management that you have to do for the rush medals, you have to choose whether or not you want to awaken equipment or you want to power up these characters. So I don't like that. I don't like that they're forcing you to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool if they delegated that into those equipment medal systems that they've kind of fleshed out a little bit.
Yeah,
since this is all
that would be
out.
perfect. I think they should move those what is it, like memories or whatever they're called, of the
fragments,
yeah,
little colored
yeah, move those to a different shop or something. I don't know.
All right, I think we can move on to the. Sorry, Raiden, you can close this question with your statement.
Sorry, I was just gonna to add to what Gresh said. It would be great if they just put it in under the equipment metal shop. Just throw it there, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that shop has come into its own right. It's starting to develop. They could rework all the equipment stuff so that it's all in the same spot. It'd be a lot less confusing than be like, well, why do I got to go over to this shop to get stuff for equipment when there's already an equipment shop? I don't know. It would be some good streamlining that they could do.
Exactly.
Alrighty. The next question is from Amandeep Singh. And he's asking, with the release of Rosé, should we get another LF on Black Friday that is future themed?
We kind of mentioned that already if we talked about if it would be like a Fuse Zamasu, but again, this is somewhat of one of those crystal ball questions. Like, they do seem to stick to tags for a few months when they start buffing them before they move on to another tag, but it's very hard to predict what we might get for Black Friday because usually we do associate Black Friday with Goku Black, but now that's up in the air kind of.
I hope Future doesn't get another LF, please. I think the powering up train for Future needs to stop. So we could see an LF. I just hope it's not for Future.
Get ready for LS Spiritual Trunks Black Friday.
Oh God.
I would like the Trunks in my.
Trunks and my.
Yeah, that would work out nicely if they were going to stick with Future. I don't know though. It might be almost about time for them to shift to a few other teams. Like hopefully, with the coming of the Trio de Dangers and stuff like that, maybe we can do Black Friday. Have like a MUI signed Goku or something a little different.
I feel like that would probably be like closing year kind of thing, but for Black Friday specifically, yeah, maybe like I don't know, like you guys said, a new Trunks new Trunks in my, or shoot, I'd even push and reach it to even say the Spirit Sword, but again, that's way that's a big stretch and reach, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Transforming VB too, right?
Yeah. MUI VB, yeah.
Yep. Kaioken.
Okay, I think before anyone gets any ideas, we'd just rather move away from this.
Yes.
So the next question is from Big 3K, and he's asking, or she's asking, I don't even know, what would be the best way to implement guild PvP? So that's a very open question. Who has an idea here they want to throw out?
Well, now that they've revamped the way the PvP screen works, the UI for that, and they've added the option to add like infinite little tabs that you could scroll through to pick different modes, I ideally would see it in there as a selectable option with its own leaderboard, its own, restrictions, the things that are whatever's going on, the themes of that mode, but again, now that they've improved that UI, I hope to see a lot of different online modes come to that little roulette wheel of options they've set up for themselves.
Yeah, you were saying something, right? Bebop, you want to say?
I would just say like the way PvP is now, a little like in a way, like as far as a guild versus guild goes, like obviously that's so ideal. You'd want to challenge other guilds, like because right now obviously it feels just like a race. It's just who can grind the most, who's the biggest whale out of the two guilds. So if there was a way like we can just battle it out, then yeah, you can definitely. I would definitely be up for that. Like a tournament style mode, that'd be pretty cool. Like for example, like if I'm in a guild with you guys, and all of a sudden we are paired up with somebody else, you could select your fighter. I could say, hey, Brad, you fight these guys, and if Brad loses, then you could send out the next player like Goresh or Nas to just play against them until they run out of players, and that's it, we win.
Yeah, I think some special rules like that would be real cool. But just to expand what I said earlier, like go into the PvP menu, you'd pick it there, and then they could do something where it takes you to the guild screen, and you could see because it already tells you who your rival guild is, and if you click on that, you can go into the sub menu that shows all the members of that guild. Maybe they could just do a little system where if that player is actively online, they have a little green dot next to their name. You could click on it and send them a friend battle request, but instead of friend battle, it would be guild battle. And then you can wager some of your guild's points on the battle, so you could more or less. I mean, there'd have to be contingencies put in so that you couldn't just use that system to boost off of one another. Like if two guilds are friends and they match off each other, they couldn't abuse the system to boost for points. But I feel like that would be a good basic way to implement it. Just add some functionality where the other guild members will have like green or red dots next to their name, whether they're online or offline, and then you could directly challenge them with like a game invite or something. I think that would
Yeah,
work.
I think what I would also what might be an easy start is just you go like they should fix for first the loading time of the guild screen. So because I go there like once a week to pick up my rewards, to be honest, and then maybe just have a button there, challenge a random player, so that the other guild gets like a notification like, hey, somebody from the other guild wants to challenge you without knowing who it is. And then somebody who's online just can pick it up, and then you get a notification like when someone invites you to a friend battle, So on the top, then you both enter the lobby, you play your match, and then maybe either you can get the guild points, or maybe you can like each participant gets like the winner gets 5 of those red coins for the guild medals, and the loser gets like 1 or something like this.
Yeah, there could be tons of. I'm sure they're working on something interesting, but there could be tons of ways where they could implement it to be cool. I think just the biggest hurdle, which they've mentioned before, is setting up some type of successful atmosphere that's reliant on a system that's dependent on multiple people being online at the same time, which can be very hard to coordinate. I think that's their biggest challenge. But as soon as they implement some system where the people have some type of awareness of whether you're online or not, and then you can make challenges accordingly, I think then they could tackle actually implementing guild PvP from there.
Yeah, and then I'd love to have like a bracket mode, just like they are doing on the Facebook pages right now, where you can just like, I don't know, you just send out maybe not everybody wants to do it, but then you send out 8 or 10 players, and then they can just face off against each other, and whoever wins the most just wins the match or something like this.
Building like a little in-game world tournament style like line bracket, that would be great. If it didn't have to be that big, it could just support like either 8 or 16 players at first, and 10 even if they had to some limitations, and you just set up the lines and people battle it out to the grand finals.
All right. I would say move on to the next one. So this question is a 2-part question. The first part we already discussed. What do you guys think of the raid event? The second part is, what does this mean? And this is the new icon in the App Store, where some people got the IT Goku and Red Super Saiyan Vegeta, and the others got the Red Super Saiyan Goku, and I think it's the other world Vegeta, right?
Yep.
So I've seen someone speculate Gogeta Blue, and I was like, huh?
Yeah, dude, confirmation.
Yeah, that's definitely confirmed. No, but seriously, all jokes aside, like everyone, let's just quickly steamroll through this. The raid event, obviously, we said earlier, it's amazing. If they do it monthly, like once monthly, then that'd be pretty dope. But as far as the icons go, I don't think it means anything. I don't think anybody should speculate so hard. And Gogeta Blue is a meme at this point, so yeah, that's it.
It might mean something because they like doing little stuff like this.
Yeah,
but I don't think.
But I don't think it's Gogeta Blue.
Yeah, I don't think that we are gonna accurately predict what they're like. It might mean that they just wanted to freshen it up a little bit, or it might mean that something's coming. Like we don't know. Like that's
right, but I feel like they wouldn't tease them like that so early. You know what I mean? Like this is something they would do more in a more discreet and more like hype way. But this, nah.
Yeah, it would either be more discreet, like you're saying, or it would be more obvious, like either one of the two. Like they would make the icon literally Gogeta Blue if he was coming, and everyone would know about it, and everyone would be re-downloading the game that's deleted it for the most part,
Well, the reason why I don't think they would do that is because nobody would summon on the current banners if they did that.
Right, yeah. That's the biggest point there. Because if it was a Gogeta Blue icon, of course everyone's gonna rack up their Chrono Crystals and just wait. But no, see, like I think they're gonna go more a discreet way, not an obvious way. Because again, like nobody wants that. They like the anticipation. They want a surprise. Like how we got that Rose, for example. Like we didn't know anything. We didn't know that was gonna be a thing until we got that pink GIF that they posted. So something like that. If we saw a blue GIF one day, then maybe But
yeah, don't read too far into those, because I did, and I got burned so hard because it just ended up being Rose.
They might just be
I was like, wait a minute, Great Saiyaman 1 and 2. What if it's Harutogan's eyes turning pink? It's Dragon Fist Goku. Yeah, it was Rose. So don't read too deep into it.
Honestly, that's your fault.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Don't read too far into it. Like I think, what was it, before the second year anniversary, everyone was talking about how their app icon was changing. Some people had God Goku, Blue Goku, and I think some people threw around the idea, like, what if it's UI Omen Goku and all this other stuff? Don't read into it. I doubt the icons really mean anything. It's just an exciting design.
Yeah, I think they to base everything down. I think realistically, it's just like a seasonal change. Like they just want to keep it fresh. Because like I haven't updated my app. Mine's still the post second anniversary Super Saiyan Blue Goku. And he's just sitting there. Now it's this one. Like they probably just want to keep things looking fresh and change it up seasonally.
Yeah, for me it's the same, but in the App Store it's updated. All right, so the next question is Ryan Taluter again, and he's asking, do unique abilities come into effect when you're Rising Rush? For example, for Zenkai I Love Gohan, he does 20% more damage for every card used. So if you use a strike card for your Rising Rush and you have 3 other blasts, is that ability active when the cards you have not chosen are being used?
That's a good question. I
some
don't think
of the
so. That's
passives
only
do activate and some don't.
Wait, let Bebop go first.
I didn't hear.
I was gonna say, like, if you pop a green card, then yes, that active is gonna apply to your Rising Rush. But if you, for example, have those 3 blast cards in your deck that you didn't use, but you're using it for your Rising Rush, it's not gonna take into effect, because it's just a Rising Rush sequence. But if you used all 3 blast cards prior and then Rising Rush, those buffs are now active.
So the buffs carry over to it, but the cards that you use in like the sequence of you attacking them in the Rising Rush animation, I don't think that activates anything.
Well, to complicate things a little bit, I don't know if y'all have noticed, but if you like Rising Rush with like Omega Shenron, his bleeds and paralyzes and his buffs, poisons, those can go off individually during the Rising Rush.
That's also true. I was gonna say that next. But as far as like, I don't know, I just feel like as buffs, like specific buffs that aren't used like that, like for example, like this Gohan, I don't think that's taken into effect. Maybe it sounds contradictory, maybe, you know, when it comes to like that bleed effect and poison effect, but those are effects, not, you know, actual buffs.
Yeah, I think the only ones that go off are the ones where you physically see it pop up on screen. Like if he has a scaling damage or card draw passive, those 3 Rising Rush cards that are part of the Rising Rush animation aren't going to do anything. But if it's like Omega Shenron, where each card could bleed or paralyze or poison, something like that, and you actually physically see it pop up on screen during the Rising Rush animation, then those ones definitely are activating.
Yeah, like abnormalities. I know crits does the same. So like Super Saiyan Bardock, for example, like if you transfer over to another Super Saiyan and Rising Rush, those crits will go into effect, but those are effects. So you know, as not like. But then again, those are buffs.
Yeah, it's actually kind of a confusing and a really good question, because I've thought the same myself. Again, I don't think that certain effects apply, but I think other ones do. And if you see it pop up on screen, then you know it's applying. But if you don't, then I would assume that it's not applying.
If you got rushed by that Gohan, I think the 20% damage buff is the least of your worries. You're kind of done anyways, no matter what.
Yeah. All right, so I think that's a potential video idea for some guide video. Whoever's out there wants to do that. I think you get some views, and we'll move on to the next question that is asked by Golden Gag. And they're asking, what are each of your most guilty pleasure units to use? Like non-meta units that you just find yourself enjoy, like using Extreme Perfect Cell for these debuffs and confusion he causes on an all-perfect Cell team.
Bebop's not allowed to answer this. Nope.
Yeah, don't let him. Don't let him. Vote him out.
Bebop, you're going last.
Vote him out. All right. Imposter.
Sus.
Okay, so Ryuden, since you were talking, what's yours?
I'm sure everyone knows it's LF Super Saiyan 3 Goku. He hasn't really ever been meta, and I still use him because I like him. That's a fair answer. He's my favorite unit. That's all. I don't care if he's not meta. That's all.
Hey, Prof, what about you?
B-Pan.
I'm sorry, B-Pan.
Yeah, I love B-Pan. Now you can double Zenkai buffer.
She actually is fun though. Like she caused a lot of issues.
She does have a lot. Yeah, she has like a lot of paralysis, bleed, everything.
It's just a goofy unit you never run into. So I mean, I'm not trying to be a hipster or anything, but it's kind of fun to run the weird units. So I like B-Pan a lot, especially since my new Gohan and Trunks kind of synergize with her well.
I used to run her. She's fun. Confirmed.
Nats, what about you?
Hasn't been so much recently, but I think one of my most fun units to play was always Buhan. Like, just using strategically his green bubble shield and upsetting people with all the card draw speed and damage that he had was one of my most fun characters to just use on and off, even when he wasn't relevant. Of course, that's been stifled a little bit by the Zenkai Fat Boo, but I really like Buhan's playstyle.
That Buhan was busted with that green card. He can even block ultimates. That was crazy.
Yeah, he was a lot of fun, and just using that to upset people when in situations where they thought they might otherwise win, and then no, you got a really good green bubble shield and turn the tides. Like, those are the skill plays that I always enjoyed seeing, much more than like, oh, Rising Rush, you won, oh great, but like, you know.
Yeah. Especially with Kid Buu supplying the green cards to him. Like, that team worked out quite well for a little bit at least.
Yeah,
Goresh, what about you?
That he gets a really nice Zenkai one day because he was really fun to play.
Yeah.
For me, I really have two. One is more so of like not really a good unit, but I just like using him, and that was EX second form Frieza. I'm not using that much anymore, but I feel like he actually is okay. And then the second one is not really a
one. The yellow
second form Frieza EX.
Okay.
EX.
And then the second one wasn't really a bad unit. It was just a meta thing that I was running at the time. And it was when Kefla came out, and I was running purple Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, the locking one.
Oh yeah.
Just to annihilate Kefla. That's the only reason why I was running.
Well, that's always fun.
Yeah.
Brad, what about you? Is it B-Pan as well or something else?
No, it's probably Vegito Blue. He's just kind of underrated. No, it's GT Goku, dog. Like, he's just fun. Yeah, the green one. Yeah, he's just fun. I don't know why. Like, because I don't like GT Goku at all in the anime. Like, that's what makes me dislike GT at all, is that Goku got turned into a kid. But like, for whatever reason, when he came out, he was like super good. And he's not so much anymore. But with Bardock, like, it was a lot of fun. Same thing with like EX Broly. So it's either one of those two. But I think EX Broly could still be meta. I just haven't used him in a long time.
I think you just turned the pain of constantly pulling that Kid Goku into something positive.
Dude, I had the Ryuden effect, dog. Whenever I said he was my favorite unit, I got him to 14 stars in like 3 weeks. I had him at like I couldn't even pull him when he first came out. I had him like 3 stars after his banner left. And then like 4 months later, boom, he's 14 stars. And it's like, okay.
If there's another GT Kid Goku, and he's amazing, you'll never pull him again. That's the inevitable doom I'm waiting for. I know it's gonna happen.
Dude, if he gets a Super Saiyan 3 win though, that'd be sick though. For GT, that'd be dope. Like a transform.
It'd be perfect for us both. Pre-transformation.
Dude, hey.
You could do dual summons and just be happy.
Yes.
All right, so now we're gonna go to the inevitable one. Bebop, you want to tell us what we already know? Your favorite guilty pleasure unit?
I mean, it's Hero Pan, but
yeah, we knew that.
Okay, no, but seriously, you already know it's Hercule. Come on, baby.
Yeah, I guess you kind of pioneered that one.
I would argue he's not even a guilty pleasure unit. He's meta.
He actually is.
Yeah.
You made him meta, like you literally made him into that.
Yeah. I am not sorry either. Like, it's just so toxic, and it is just like the funniest thing to see. Like, listen, like in some way I had to compensate after seeing Vegito Blue being the main guy. So yeah, I just Hercule had to be it for me. But yeah.
All right, so with that, we're going to move to the last question that we have, and this one is by Jirizo Chris. Would you guys like to see a percentage-based or percentage toggle in the options menu for an in-game health bar addition? So far, it simply shows the raw numbers, and many abilities in-game are percentage-based.
I kind of need a little bit more backstory on what he's asking for here. So, like, he's asking for a setting that removes the health bar, and then like every time you finish a combo or every time you deal damage, it just shows you what it was in a percent instead of raw numbers.
Now, so what I think is more like you see the opponent's health bar and you see like he has 4.3 million HP, and he would probably like a toggle where it says 100%, 85%, 60%, because some of the uniques go off when they're like your opponent's below 50% or you're below 60% health, and then you get a strike buff, for example.
I believe they're doing that through color coding on the HP bar, and they can they can expand on the color coding from the HP bar, but I know my units are capable of certain numbers of damage, and so I need to see the raw number.
Yeah, I would say this person doesn't really imply a whole lot with a question, but if it's something that they added, like right below the health bar, you see it in a percentage based like output as well. Like they're at 100% and like a little percent that increases or decreases based off damage and healing. I think adding it or like a color shader or something that is like in addition to what's currently there would be okay. But I don't think they should like necessarily remove or change anything about the pre-existing system.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could do it like Dokkan has it. Like they have those 10 little segments on the HP bar where you can, or 9 or whatever, 10, I think. So you can see, okay, I'm at 90%, 70%, whatever, without having to change that you can actually still see the number of HP you have left.
Yeah, an option just to segment your HP bar sounds wonderful compromise.
Right. Anything that they add or work into in addition to what's already there is fine. I don't think they need to replace anything though.
I think this is probably something minor, but it'd be great if they did what Dokkan has, where there are 10 small little your HP is divided into 10% segments. That would be useful. It's just one big bar. It'd be great if they just divided that up. I think that would be helpful.
Like they already kind of have that implemented. It's not divided into segments, but you have the green, yellow, red, where when you're over 60% HP, the bar is green. Then as you transition below, like into the 40% range, it'll turn yellow. And then when you get to, I don't know if it's like 15 or 20% health left, it turns red. But maybe expanding on that and adding another little visual indicator that goes along with it could definitely be helpful. Or like you said, segmenting the health bar instead. And just adding green segments, yellow segments, and red segments. That definitely wouldn't hurt.
All right, so I think that's it for questions. And everyone, again, if you want your questions on the podcast, make sure to follow us over on Twitter at 59gaming1. And we will post a questions thread a couple of days before the podcast. Make sure to post your questions there. And if you want a specific answer, ask a specific question, and so that we can, we know what you're talking about and all that stuff. And with that, again, make sure that you follow all our content creators. The links to the Twitters are in the description down below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel here so you get notified whenever a new video is coming out. Follow us over on Twitch as well, where we will stream stuff like Among Us. We might stream that in a couple of hours from now. So I've heard some people talk about they want to play that again, and they did that after the Dokkan podcast. And with that, I would like to give special credit again to Hydros, Kambogava, Bebop, Meldux, and also Ignan for doing all the the visual work, the templates, the editing. Thanks to Nas for hosting. And with that, that's it for episode 2 of the podcast. Don't forget to check out episode 1 if you haven't seen it yet. It's on our YouTube. Anybody else want to say goodbye?
Goodbye.
Yeah. No, I think you closed it out pretty well. I guess, like I said, we may be organizing some type of Twitch Among Us stream this afternoon. We're still trying to hammer it out. But regardless, we're going to have a lot of that stuff going on with increasing frequency as this avalanche starts rolling downhill. So definitely, like Pomzor said, give us all a follow. We'll be constantly tweeting out all the updates, keep everyone up to date, informed. So, yeah, other than that, I think we're good.
Yep.
All right, guys. Use Hercule. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Do the thing. And we'll see you in the next podcast a week from now. Have a good rest of your day. And take care. 59 Gaming, out.
Bye.